Nobody is secretly rooting for you right now. Not when you feel stuck. Not when you doubt yourself. Not when you close your laptop at night wondering if you're wasting your life. The world is quiet when you struggle, and loud only after you win. That's the rule nobody explains. You wake up already tired. Not physically, mentally. Your alarm goes off, and for a second you just stare at the ceiling, negotiating with your own life. Another day, same routine, same goals you promised you'd take seriously. You check your phone. Someone your age just bought a house. Someone launched a business. Someone transformed their body. And you feel it, that small, invisible pressure. You tell yourself timelines don't matter. But deep down, you wonder if you're late. You're not lazy. That's the frustrating part. You think constantly, plan constantly, restart constantly. You've had moments where you felt unstoppable, late nights filled with ambition, ideas racing faster than sleep. But consistency? That's where things collapse. Because life interrupts. Responsibilities pile up, energy fades, self-doubt sneaks in quietly. And nobody notices the effort you almost gave. Nobody sees the internal fights you win just to get through ordinary days. You laugh with people, you act normal. But inside, there's a question repeating like background noise. What if I never become who I know I could be? And the hardest part? Feeling invisible while trying your best. Here's the truth most people avoid because it sounds cruel. Nobody cares about your intentions. Not really. They care about results. The world doesn't measure effort you planned, only effort you finished. That dream in your head, it means nothing until reality can see it. And that realization hurts, because you want encouragement before proof. You want belief before success. But life works in reverse. Validation comes late, support comes late, respect comes late. Every person you admire once worked in total silence. No audience, no reassurance, no confirmation they were on the right path. Just uncertainty, repeated daily. You think successful people felt confident the whole time? No, they felt ridiculous, working towards something nobody else understood, looking obsessed while others looked comfortable. The early stage of success always looks like failure from the outside. And that's why most people quit there. Not because they lack talent, because they can't survive being unseen. At first, you believe motivation is the missing piece. You wait for the perfect mindset, the perfect Monday, the perfect surge of energy. But motivation is unreliable. It visits, then disappears without warning. The first shift happens when you understand you don't need motivation, you need identity. The moment you stop asking, "Do I feel like working today?" and start asking, "What would the person I want to become do right now?" something clicks. Action stops being emotional, it becomes inevitable. The second shift is harder. You realize discipline isn't restriction, it's self-respect. Every promise you break to yourself slowly destroys trust in your own voice. You stop believing you. And when you don't trust yourself, everything feels heavier. But each small completed action rebuilds that trust. One workout, one focused hour, one decision you didn't negotiate with. Confidence isn't loud, it's accumulated proof. Then comes the third shift, the dangerous one. You stop needing recognition. You understand that anonymity is power, because when nobody expects anything from you, you can grow without pressure. You can fail privately. You can experiment without embarrassment. Silence becomes training ground instead of punishment. And suddenly, you're no longer chasing attention. You're building capability. But growth isn't peaceful. It creates tension, because comfort fights back. Comfort sounds logical. Rest today. You've already tried before. It's not that serious. And the scary part? Comfort uses your own voice. You sit there knowing exactly what needs to be done. The workout, the work session, the uncomfortable step forward. And your brain searches for escape routes. Scroll a little longer. Start tomorrow. Wait until motivation returns. This is the real battlefield. Not outside, inside your decisions. One version of you wants ease. The other wants evolution. One protects your current identity. The other destroys it to build something stronger. And nobody witnesses this moment. No cameras, no applause, just you deciding who wins. And quietly, almost casually, you choose. Not this time. Change begins invisibly. It doesn't feel heroic. It feels repetitive. You wake up earlier, not excited, just committed. You work when distractions call louder. You stop announcing goals because talking about them feels empty. You become quieter, more focused. Days stack into weeks. The chaos in your mind slowly organizes itself. You notice small changes first. You react less emotionally. You recover faster from setbacks. You start finishing things. Your confidence stops depending on outcomes. It comes from consistency. And something unexpected happens. You begin respecting yourself. Not because life became easy, but because you stopped abandoning yourself when it got hard. People still don't notice. And strangely, you don't mind anymore. Because progress becomes personal. You're no longer proving something to the world. You're proving something to the person you see in the mirror every morning. Then momentum arrives. Not dramatic, just undeniable. Opportunities appear. Energy increases. Your presence changes. People feel it before they understand it. They start asking questions. What are you doing differently? They think the transformation happened suddenly. They never saw the invisible phase, the lonely discipline, the boring repetition, the thousands of small decisions nobody applauded. And you realize the work was never invisible. It was internal. Nobody cares when you start. Nobody cares when you struggle. Nobody cares when progress is slow. And that's not unfair. That's freedom. Because you get to build without pressure. You get to fail without headlines. You get to become powerful quietly. Understand this. Greatness grows in obscurity. Strength is built when quitting would be unnoticed. You were never behind. You were preparing. You were never ignored. You were loading. The silence wasn't rejection. It was refinement. And one day, without warning, results speak louder than explanations ever could. The same people who overlooked you will ask for your secrets, but they won't see the real answer. You kept going when nobody cared. So tonight, when your effort feels invisible, when progress feels slow, when doubt feels reasonable, remember where you are. You are inside the chapter most people refuse to live through. The quiet chapter, the uncertain chapter, the becoming. Years from now, someone will look at your life and assume it was easy. They'll call you talented, lucky, disciplined. They won't see this version of you, the tired one still showing up, the uncertain one still trying, the invisible one choosing growth anyway. But you will remember. You will remember the silence, and you'll understand something powerful. Nobody cared while you were building, because this part was never meant for them. It was meant to turn you into someone unstoppable. So keep going. Not for attention, not for validation, but for the moment when you finally realize you don't need the world to believe in you anymore, because you do. And when that happens, winning is no longer a possibility. It becomes inevitable. And the world always notices inevitability.